How's it going? This is Case Emert for my TE150 video log for the Insider Outsider narrative project. So, started off, my partner was Joe Carr in my class. He was in my base group, and he decided his insider, where he felt like he was an insider, was the St. John's Catholic Church in East Lansing. And he chose this spot because he's very Catholic. He's grown up Catholic his entire life and subscribes to the Catholic faith. And some of the things I learned throughout our experience together, that some of the things I learned that relate to education and learning were that become because like I think some of the things I learned about culture, especially and like how it relates to education and learning, were that being able to like communicate across cultures is becoming very important nowadays because like the world is a very it's getting a more and more diverse place like all the time, especially the United States, and then especially in schools as well. So when learning in an environment with many different cultures and many different people, it's really helpful to know effective ways to communicate across cultures. And I think that doing this project allows you to get a deeper insight into someone else's culture, and then even from doing that into a lot of like all cultures. So it's you can have a little more of a ethno-relative standpoint and like not be so not closed-minded, I would say, but like easier to communicate across cultures, which will help with your learning in the long run. But learned some really cool stuff from Joe. I've never been religious and still believe that, but I didn't know a lot about being Catholic or the Catholic faith in general. But I feel like Joe taught me a lot and gave me more of a broad understanding of religion in general and especially Catholicism. But some of the things I learned through the project, like that relate to culture in the class that we learned about, was like we talked about personal control over destiny when referring to like the what was it called? It was gotta find what it's called real quick. Like the dimensions of culture. So some of this like Joe and the Catholic religion believes that like not that he's completely in control of his destiny, but there is a higher power like going on that has control over your life and your destiny at some point. So that's definitely a part of the culture that I learned about from him with being Catholic. Some other things I learned, like I thought about the iceberg model when thinking about culture, and what I learned from Joe in the class or from the project was that there was a lot more things to um, Catholicism that you'd see that I learned from Joe on a deeper level because you see stuff from the outside, especially me being not very religious at all. So it's like you only see about the Pope being Catholic and stuff, and but I didn't know a lot about it, so learned a lot more deeper under the surface stuff, like the iceberg necessarily, and that was really interesting to learn about and gave me like a better understanding than more of what I see and just see in the media and what you think about stuff, but more of how that culture really works and some deeper levels to that. But yeah, that's about what I learned from the project. I thought it was really good, and that's my video. Hope you enjoy it. Goodbye.